Let's take a trip down memory lane to revisit the incredible cast of the beloved sitcom Family Matters, 1989 to 1998. For years, they brought laughter, love, and unforgettable moments to millions of fans worldwide. However, life after fame has not always been kind. Some cast members face tragic accidents and unforeseen events that reshaped their lives in unimaginable ways. Now, in 2025, we explore where they are and how they've navigated through life's twists and turns. The untold stories behind the scenes will captivate you and shed new light on these cherished stars. Don't miss their extraordinary journeys. Reginald VelJohnson, who portrayed Carl Winslow in Family Matters, was 37 years old when he took on the role of the stern but loving patriarch. His performance as the hardworking police officer trying to balance family and duty made him a fan favorite. But behind the scenes, VelJohnson faced a life marked by isolation. Never marrying, he found himself increasingly distanced from Hollywood's mainstream, his career reduced to occasional guest appearances. Though he remained respected, he struggled with the industry's tendency to typecast him, leaving his post-Family Matters years unfulfilled. His personal life was equally quiet. While he had close friendships, he never found lasting companionship. Over the years, his health declined due to diabetes, leading to long hospital stays. The warmth he once exuded on screen became a distant memory as he spent his later years in relative solitude. As of 2025, VelJohnson is 72 years old, residing in Los Angeles with an estimated estate of $3 million. Darius McCrary, who played Eddie Winslow, was only 13 when he first appeared as the charming but reckless teenager. His portrayal was effortless, but real life was far less kind. McCrary's career faltered after Family Matters, reduced to minor TV roles and forgettable films. His love life was chaotic, 3 failed marriages, each more turbulent than the last. His first wife, Juliette Merrill, left him after 2 years, citing emotional abuse. His second, Corinne Steffens, publicly accused him of violence. His third marriage to Tammy Bronner ended in a bitter custody battle over their daughter Zoe, whom McCrary rarely sees. His financial struggles became public as he filed for bankruptcy, admitting he could barely afford child support. Multiple arrests for unpaid alimony and disorderly conduct only worsened his downfall. With his career in tatters and his personal life a wreck, McCrary remains in Hollywood, still chasing a comeback. At 48 years old in 2025, his estate is a meager $200,000. Kelly Shania Williams, who played Laura Winslow, was just 13 when she stepped into the role of the intelligent and independent-minded daughter. The role made her a household name, but the industry soon abandoned her. Post-Family Matters, meaningful roles were scarce, and she left acting to focus on family. She married Hannibal Jackson in 2009, hoping for stability, but the cracks appeared early. Arguments, financial strain, and an emotional disconnect left her in a marriage that felt like a prison. They had 2 children, Hannah and John, but even their presence couldn't heal the wounds of a deteriorating relationship. After years of trying, she filed for divorce, retreating from public life. Her dreams of a long-lasting career and a happy family shattered, leaving her in a quiet existence, far from the spotlight she once cherished. Now 48, she lives in Maryland with an estate valued at $600,000, a fraction of what she once imagined for herself. Jaleel White, who became a cultural phenomenon as Steve Urkel, was just 12 when he put on the suspenders and thick glasses. His character, an exaggerated nerd, made him famous overnight, but the success was a double-edged sword. Typecast and ridiculed, he fought for serious roles but found the industry unwilling to see him as anything but Urkel. His love life suffered as well. His relationship with actress Bridget Hardy ended in scandal, with accusations of physical and emotional abuse. The custody battle over their daughter Samaya drained him both financially and emotionally. He tried his hand at producing and hosting, but the shadow of Urkel never faded. Depression crept in, and his attempts at reinvention felt futile. The boy who once made the world laugh now lived in the echoes of his former glory. At 48 in 2025, he still works in entertainment but with little of the excitement he once had. His estate, once promising, now stands at $2 million, a reflection of a career that never truly escaped its past. Jo Marie Payton, who portrayed Harriet Winslow in Family Matters, was 39 years old when she took on the role of the strong, wise, and nurturing matriarch of the Winslow family. Her portrayal was grounded in warmth and quiet strength, making Harriet the steadfast anchor of the show. However, beyond the screen, Jo Marie's personal life was less idyllic. She married 3 times, each union promising happiness but ultimately leading to heartbreak. Her first marriage ended quickly, leaving emotional scars, while her second, to businessman Landris Clark, lasted longer but was filled with turbulence and unfulfilled dreams. Her third marriage, to Leonard Downs, ended in divorce, deepening her disillusionment with love. Though she had no biological children, she poured her maternal instincts into mentoring young actors. Professionally, she struggled after leaving Family Matters, feeling typecast and overlooked by Hollywood. Health issues, financial instability, and the loneliness of failed relationships weighed on her spirit. Now 73, she remains active in entertainment, but has long abandoned the dream of a perfect family life. Her estate is valued at approximately $3 million, a modest fortune shaped by years of perseverance in an industry that often forgets its stars. Rosetta Lenoir, who played Estelle, Mother Winslow, was 78 years old when she joined Family Matters, bringing warmth and dignity to the role of Carl Winslow's loving yet sharp-witted mother. Off-screen, her life was defined by both triumph and sorrow. She married William Lenoir, a relationship marked by devotion, but the couple never had children, a regret she carried privately. Despite breaking barriers as a black actress, she faced immense discrimination, struggling for roles that honored her talent. Her later years were marked by declining health, including diabetes complications that led to the amputation of both legs. As her mobility decreased, so did her opportunities in the industry. She found solace in mentoring young black performers, though loneliness crept in as her friends and colleagues passed away. Her final years were spent in quiet dignity, reflecting on the battles she fought in Hollywood. She passed away on March 17, 2002, at the age of 90 due to complications from diabetes. Her estate, estimated at $1.5 million, was largely donated to arts programs, a testament to her lifelong advocacy for diversity in entertainment. Jamie Foxworth, who played the forgotten youngest Winslow sibling, Judy, was only 10 when she stepped into the role. However, when her character was inexplicably written out of the show, her Hollywood dreams crumbled. The sudden loss of stability sent her spiraling into depression and substance abuse. Desperate for financial security, she turned to adult entertainment, a decision that haunted her for years. Foxworth later tried to reclaim her dignity, seeking rehabilitation and attempting a music career, but the shadows of her past never fully receded. She found fleeting happiness in motherhood, having a son named Josiah, but remained at odds with her family. A toxic relationship with her longtime partner only deepened her struggles. Now 45, she lives a quiet life, still grappling with past demons. Despite her attempts to rebuild, her estate barely surpasses $200,000, and she remains a cautionary tale of Hollywood's cruelty. Sean Harrison, who portrayed the goofy yet endearing Waldo Geraldo Faldo, was just 17 years old when he won over audiences with his comedic timing and lovable dim-wittedness. His character provided much-needed comic relief in Family Matters, but his real life was far less lighthearted. As the show ended, Harrison struggled to find roles that weren't typecast, and his acting career dwindled. He turned to voice work but never recaptured the fame of his teenage years. His personal life was equally tumultuous. He married once to a woman outside the industry, but the relationship crumbled under financial strain and career frustrations. Their only child, a son named Xavier, became estranged from Harrison in his later years. Failed business ventures and financial mismanagement led to bankruptcy, and he was forced to sell his home. Now 51, he lives a reclusive life in a modest apartment, relying on residual checks from his past work. His estate is estimated at a mere $300,000, a far cry from the fortune he once dreamed of. Bryton James, who played the lovable and curly-haired Richie Crawford, was only 4 years old when he joined Family Matters. His innocence and charm made Richie an endearing presence, but growing up in the limelight came with its struggles. Bryton's childhood was overshadowed by Hollywood's demands, leaving him little time for a normal life. His parents divorced when he was still young, leaving him torn between two worlds. Despite finding success on The Young and the Restless, he struggled with identity, longing for an existence outside of television. His first marriage ended bitterly, a casualty of the pressures of fame. He later found love again, but happiness remained fleeting. The death of his father left an unfillable void, and he distanced himself from the industry for a time, searching for meaning beyond the camera's glare. Now 38, he continues acting but carries the scars of a childhood spent in the spotlight. Financially stable with an estimated net worth of $4 million, he lives comfortably but battles the ghosts of his past, always seeking the elusive peace that stardom never granted him. Thelma Hopkins, who played Rachel Crawford, the strong-willed and loving sister of Harriet Winslow, was 41 when Family Matters began. Already an accomplished singer and actress, she brought warmth to the show, but behind the scenes, her personal life was anything but comforting. Married briefly in her younger years, she never found lasting love, dedicating herself instead to her career. The loneliness crept in as friends and colleagues moved on, and she found herself increasingly isolated. Hopkins suffered from health complications, and though she remained active in acting, the work became sporadic. With no children to care for her in her later years, she relied on old industry connections for support. Now 76, she lives in a modest home, her estate valued at roughly $1 million, but the wealth means little when solitude is her greatest companion. Her legacy in entertainment is undeniable, yet she often wonders if the sacrifices were worth it. Sherry Johnson, who portrayed Maxine Johnson, was just 15 years old when she stepped into the role of Laura Winslow's fiercely loyal and outspoken best friend. With her infectious energy and unwavering support for Laura, Maxine became a beloved part of the series. But after Family Matters, Sherry struggled to find roles that matched her early success. She dabbled in writing and producing, but Hollywood's doors seemed to close on her, leaving her to navigate a career filled with brief revivals and disappointing setbacks. Her personal life was no less turbulent. Married twice, first to an industry insider who left her heartbroken, and later to a businessman whose long absences only deepened her loneliness. She had 2 children, a son named Xavier and a daughter, Layla, but the stress of failed relationships cast a shadow over her motherhood. The weight of career disappointments and personal betrayals took its toll, leading her to withdraw from the limelight. Though she fought to reinvent herself, financial struggles loomed. Now 49, she clings to her remaining projects, hoping to secure stability in an industry that long forgot her. Her estate is valued at a modest $800,000, a fraction of what she once dreamed. Michelle Thomas, who played the devoted and affectionate Myra Monkhouse, was 25 when she joined Family Matters, bringing warmth and comedic charm as Steve Urkel's adoring girlfriend. Off-screen, Michelle was just as full of life, but fate had cruel plans for her. In 1997, she was diagnosed with a rare form of stomach cancer, a battle she fought with unwavering strength despite its relentless advance. Her career, once full of promise, came to a screeching halt as illness consumed her. She had dreamed of marriage and children but never had the chance. Her romantic life was overshadowed by her deteriorating health. She spent her final months in excruciating pain, surrounded by loved ones who could do nothing but watch her fade. On December 23, 1998, at just 30 years old, Michelle passed away, leaving behind a haunting silence where laughter once lived. Her estate, once poised to flourish, dwindled under the weight of medical expenses. At the time of her death, Her assets were valued at approximately $250,000, an unfair sum for a life so bright yet so cruelly extinguished. Barry Jenner, who took on the role of the clumsy and comically ineffective Lieutenant Murtaugh, was 49 when he joined Family Matters. Though his portrayal of the hapless officer brought levity to the show, Barry's real-life struggles were far less amusing. Despite a steady career in television, he never found the leading roles he longed for, often relegated to minor parts that failed to showcase his depth as an actor. He married actress Suzanne Hunt, but the pressures of an unstable career took their toll on their relationship. Though they remained together, their marriage was marred by unspoken resentment and emotional distance. Barry longed for children but never had any, a quiet regret that lingered in his later years. As time passed, the industry moved on without him, leaving him to battle loneliness and declining health. In 2016, he was diagnosed with leukemia, a devastating final act in a life filled with missed opportunities. He passed away on August 8, 2016, at the age of 75, leaving behind a career that never quite reached its full potential. At the time of his death, his estate was valued at approximately $1 million, a bittersweet reminder of a life spent chasing dreams that never fully materialized. Tammy Townsend, who portrayed Greta McClure in Family Matters, was 25 when she took on the role of Eddie Winslow's girlfriend, a character who balanced charm and resilience while navigating her complex relationship with Eddie. Though Townsend found recognition through the show, her career after Family Matters never reached the heights she had hoped for. Despite sporadic appearances in television and film, she remained largely on the periphery of Hollywood, struggling with the industry's shifting standards and typecasting. Townsend's love life has been marked by turbulence. She was briefly married to an entertainment executive, but the marriage ended in a bitter divorce, leaving her emotionally drained and financially unstable. She never remarried, and her longing for a family remained unfulfilled. The pressure of Hollywood, combined with personal disappointments, led her to periods of isolation and self-doubt. She lost close friends, endured financial struggles, and battled with depression, which often kept her away from the public eye. Now 54, Townsend continues to seek stability in a world that once embraced her but later left her behind. Her estimated estate stands at approximately $500,000, a stark contrast to the wealth of her more successful contemporaries. Shalvar Ross, who portrayed the mischievous weasel in Family Matters, was 20 when he joined the cast, adding humor and mischief to the Winslow family's world. But beyond the laughter, Ross struggled with his own personal battles. Though he found some success transitioning into filmmaking and writing, the road was never easy. Hollywood rarely welcomed former child actors back with open arms, and Ross found himself battling financial instability, struggling to maintain his footing in an industry that seemed to have no place for him. His marriage to a woman outside the industry offered fleeting happiness, but the pressures of career disappointments and personal demons took their toll, leading to a quiet but painful divorce. He fathered 2 children, a son named Micah and a daughter named Sierra, but the demands of his uncertain career meant he was often absent from their lives. Financial hardships, failed business ventures, and creative projects that never took off became recurring nightmares. He battled severe anxiety, loneliness, and disillusionment, watching many of his former co-stars surpass him in fame and fortune. Now 54, he remains a mentor to aspiring filmmakers, but the years have taken their toll. His estimated estate sits at roughly $400,000, a fraction of what he once dreamed of achieving. Who is your favorite character from Family Matters? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.